Good day, it's Althea from the Bible in 1 year. Today we spend time in Joel 3, Arms Too Short to Fight God. Joel teaches about the power of prayer and fasting in difficult times. Chapter 2 ends with a promise: whoever calls on the name of the Lord will be saved from the coming judgment. Something I often notice in Scripture, that wherever there are mentions of God's wrath and judgments to come, there is always a message of rescue and a way to escape for those that choose God and follows His will. Chapter 3 is all about the charge against the Gentiles, judgment and war. Most prophecies in the Bible have a near and a far fulfillment. The near fulfillment is a return from the Babylonian exile, and the far fulfillment refers to the end-time prophecies. Although it was God's will that Israel was taken into exile by Babylon, it was never His will that they would suffer such hostile treatment from the Babylonians, as we read in verse 2 to 8. Verses 9 to 13 seems to describe the Battle of Armageddon, as we read in Revelation 16, verse 12 to 16, and Psalm 2. In verse 9 we read, "Prepare a war. Make swords of your plowshares and spears from your pruning hooks. Let the weak say, I am strong. Hurry and come, all you surrounding nations, and gather yourselves there. Bring down, O Lord, your mighty ones, your warriors." Often people become wise and skillful in their own thinking, forgetting that humans are not able to fight against God. James Weldon Johnson used the phrase, "Your arms too short to box with God." In verse 14 we read about the valley of decisions, when judgment is executed. Joel looked at this battle of Armageddon. In the valley he saw multitudes of people in judgment. The valley of decisions for those who fight against the Lord. But in verse 16 it says, "But the Lord is a refuge for His people, and a stronghold of protection to the children of Israel." This valley of decisions is not to stand there and decide on whose side you are. You need to decide now for or against Jesus. It is also not enough to choose, but you need to build a relationship with Him, following His precepts and will. In the valley of decisions, it will be God making the decisions. He knows His people for they stand in relationship with Him. In verse 17 we read, "Then you will know and understand fully that I am the Lord your God." This is the key. The book of Joel starts with the plague of locusts. Joel interpreted and communicated this destruction to the people of God's judgment. Joel ends the book with a promise of forgiveness, restoration, and redemption. God saves, leads His people away from destruction. It is important to realize that we cannot fight God. It is way better to follow Him, as we read in Proverbs 3 verse 5. Trust in and rely confidently on the Lord with all your heart, and do not rely on your own insight or understanding. In all your ways, know and acknowledge and recognize Him, and He will make your path straight and smooth, removing obstacles that block your way. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord with reverent awe and obedience, and turn entirely away from evil. May you be blessed. Goodbye.